Okay folks, this is part 2 of my 2025 review. This time it's all about the black and white. Morning folks, welcome back. Now as I said, this is part 2 of my year review. This time it's all about the black and white. If you haven't seen my previous video, part 1, which is the review of my colour images from last year, you can go and check that out now, or just wait till the end of the video and check it out at that point. So without rambling on too much, as you probably know already, these images and any other images that you see are all edited with my very own preset packs. They are available over on the website, so please do go and have a wee look at them, check them out for yourself. Now, without further ado, let's get into this review. Okay, so diving into the first image. This was a picture taken in Prague. We're in Prague, excuse me, and its main train station. There's 2 train stations, if I'm not mistaken, in the centre of Prague. This is their kind of more central one, near the top of Wenceslas Square. And inside it's quite picturesque, almost Art Deco type feeling to it. Huge windows at the front there, as you can see. Lots of light streaming in, tiled floors. It gives you some good reflections as well. One of my favourite things about these train stations is that you can go right through to the platforms and you get some stunning images on the platforms as well. Some quite old trains out there and things like that you can wander about quite happily, and take as many pictures as you like. So if you like trains and things like that, it's definitely a place to visit. Now from where I'm taking this picture from, there's a cafe, like a train station cafe type thing going on there. It's not your average kind of cafe though, it's very retro. It's done up in an almost kind of 30s 40s style theme going on there, because even down to the old newspapers they leave on the table, it's from like the 40s, things like that. So it's quite a nice transportation back in time, almost feel to it. Plenty of time for some images though. So this one, as I say, it was probably early morning. Excuse me again. Probably early morning, sunshine coming through the windows. I think it was actually slightly overcast, which gave it that kind of hazy look to the image as well. But a good opportunity to get a kind of strong black and white image there. Always good to have a figure in the image there as well. I do like getting just a kind of backlit image, or a frontlit image of this person in some of these black and whites, just to give it a bit of interest as well. But yeah, I love the muted kind of reflections on the floor down below. Yeah, I think it turned out quite well. So this one was taken with the trusty 33mm lens, Fuji 33mm lens 1.4. It was at 2.8 ISO 125 and shutter speed of 200. So moving on to the next one. Again, we're still in Prague. This one is from their National Museum. I can't remember if it's a Natural History Museum or just National Museum. But I say it's a great visit if you're interested in museums and things like that. It's definitely a go-to place for you. Now this one, again, this is in their main foyer. They've got sets of stairs going up on either side, in front of me and behind me in this picture. Stunning architecture again in these buildings, absolutely stunning architecture. Managed to get a kind of glow inside the building. I believe, if I'm correct, remembering correctly again, there's a glass dome type structure at the top, letting a lot of light through here. Now when the light comes through the roof, it's not direct sunlight, so it is again muted, for a better word. I can't remember the word off the top of my head, but yeah, it highlights all the details and the kind of carvings and statues and things like that. It's all brought out beautifully for this. And again, I've kind of muted the blacks on this image, so kind of more of a matte black rather than a kind of dark black, if that makes any sense to anybody, which I felt worked really well. Now, a bonus in this picture is I didn't realise until I edited the picture there's actually someone up the top balcony there looking out, and it just works so well. I'm glad I managed to get that, even if it wasn't a happy accident, as they say. Now, this one again was shot on the 33mm lens. This was at 1.4. Now, I usually, as I say, try and keep it round about 5.6 if I'm doing architectural type images, but I think because it was quite dark inside, so I put it down to 1.4, but I had no problem bringing out the detail for that. 250th of a second, ISO 125. Moving on again. So this is actually from near my hometown. This was a classic car kind of show meet at a local park. So maybe 30-40 different classic cars all go out. Definitely a good time to go and practice something a little bit different. Maybe your photography, if you have any shows like that are near yourself or come to your local area. I always like doing something a wee bit different. Freshens up your outlook, you know, it gives you a new perspective, new ideas, things like that. We're talking a wee bit about getting new ideas if you're maybe stuck in a wee kind of artistic block type point in your photography, because I've been there many times before, so I'll maybe make a wee video about that later on, so look out for that coming through. But as I say, this one I do like shooting through the kind of rear side windows of these cars towards the front. Gives it that kind of, you get the reflection in there, so it gives you your image of depth, and when you turn it into black and white, it feels old, you know, it feels classic, and yeah, I just love shooting through classic cars. They just turn out really well. There was quite a few I had there, but I thought, you know, limited to one. We've got 14 to go through after all. Now, wee before and after on this one, as I say, I like shooting through the windows to get the reflections on there. Now, you see before, it's not as strong, I believe. It's too many distractions in colour in the background. So you've got a bright green kind of car end up here. You've got a yellow and kind of stone colours down the bottom as well. Some whites, just a bit too distracting. Obviously, when you turn it to or change it to black and white, that takes that away and refocuses your eyes back onto the steering wheel and the kind of main part of the picture itself, which is why I quite like doing reflection images but in black and white. This one was 16 to 55mm lens, 55 focal length, 2.8 ISO 125, and shutter speed of 1/640th. Okay, so this next one, this was actually back in Prague. I went to Prague twice last year, once right at the beginning of the year in February, and then back in Prague again with my best mate. We went there for another couple of days for a wee photo session. So this one is quite a up-to-date modern type building compared to a lot of the buildings in Prague. You either get old gorgeous architecture or new, I don't want to call it gorgeous, it's not the same league as the old architecture, but still stunning in the way it's been constructed and designed. Obviously this is me at the bottom shooting up the way. I knew I wanted to do black and white as soon as I seen the building itself, strong lines leading you up to the top, and the cloud cover at the time was changing quite a lot, quite rapidly. I like a good dramatic sky. It felt quite good to have that sky included, so I included that as well. And to get a kind of more defined cloud sky image, I used a red filter on the black and white. It really brings out the blue of the sky. For that, if you've never tried it before, try it when you're doing landscapes or architectural and you've got the sky in the background, or you've got some cloud cover. Stick on a wee red filter. You'll be surprised how well that actually works for you. Now for this one, I was kind of 50-50 which one I liked the best, whether it was the colour version or black and white when I changed over, I edited it in black and white. So I'll show you the one before. So this was it before. So I think what's kind of why I'm torn between the two is because of the blue sky. It's obviously quite a dramatic sky, as I say, contrasting with the white of the cloud, but it's also got the blue in the building as well. So a bit similar to the black and white, where you've got the kind of greyness of the sky in the building and in the sky itself. It kind of they both kind of complement each other. Again, when I look at it, I'm still 50-50 on which one I do like the best. If you have a favourite yourself, give me drop me a note in the comment below of which one you do like, or if you're the same as me, you can't tell which one you want or like the best. So this was shot at 16mm lens, 16mm part of the lens, end of the lens, 5.6 ISO 125 and 12 or 1250th of a second for that one. But yeah, it's something to practice with, and it's all just trial and error at the end of the day. So still in Prague, we were there over a bank holiday weekend, and there just so happened to be a marathon going on at the time. Well, not the whole time we were there, but on one of the days, which was fun. We took some images, practiced slow shutter photography again. See these opportunities come up, and you've just got to, instead of saying, "Oh, I can't get much done because there's a marathon," you just, you know what, I'm going to try something new, or something I've not practiced very much before. In this case, I was trying a bit of slow shutter. Now I don't mind that the figures in this image aren't sharp or anything at all. I actually like the motion, what's going on. You can see this was actually, I don't know whether they were actually just married, because it was a groom in his suit and waistcoat and shirt and shorts, and the bride was in her dress as well, albeit not a traditional dress, a more kind of slimmed down one. I can imagine trying to run a marathon with that, but they were running, and I caught a glimpse of them, and I said I definitely wanted to try and get an image of them. So I managed to get everything set up and sorted as I seen them approaching, and she gave the thumbs up because she seen me trying to take a picture of them. She gave me the thumbs up, and you can see there's a wee kind of GoPro or something like that she's carrying. She's obviously filming it for herself, but I thought that was quite a unique photo. I don't know if they were just married or not, or it was some kind of charity thing or something like that, but a cool photo. It's a real life photo, I like to call it. It's not staged or anything at all. It's something you just managed to capture. I don't think I would ever get that again. Now I shot this, I believe, without an ND filter. I can't remember if I had an ND filter on this one. I'm at f8, so I'm not kind of borderline whether I did have an ND filter on it or not. 1/25th of a second, 33mm lens, ISO 125. Obviously I probably had the face detect on here as well, but again, it doesn't bother me too much that nothing really was in focus. It's the motion I'm looking for in this image anyway. So yeah, I do like the way that came out. Right, okay, back into Edinburgh now. As you could probably tell, this is Edinburgh Castle. Now every time I go to Edinburgh, I always go down onto Princes Street, which is across from the castle itself, and try and capture a different image of this point of view every time I go, because usually by then, every time I go, I've got a different lens to try out, I've got new ideas, things like that. So that's how I love just going back to sometimes the same place and seeing what I can improve on what I've done the last time. So this one, I believe I maybe merged 2 or 3 pictures together for this one. Was taken with the 33mm Fuji lens, 1.4. I was actually taking the 5.6. I always like taking architectural pictures at a minimum of 5.6 just to get that detail in there. I don't want any kind of missed features and things like that. It was quite a bright day. Again, I used a red filter over the black and white image, which is why you could probably see more detail in the cloud cover there. 500ths of a second ISO 125. Outstanding detail coming through in this lens for this picture, to be honest with you. When you zoom into the castle itself, you can see that everything is nice and crisp and tack sharp, as they say, and the way the foliage lights up the kind of bottom of the picture as well, contrasting with the light sky as well. It kind of really draws your eye into the middle of the picture for that. Now I'll do a wee before and after, so you see the kind of what the kind of red filter does for the sky as well. So you can see it coming through a wee bit already just with the image itself. Trees are really kind of vibrant green colour as well, which helps when you turn it to the black and white. They really pop through on that, and as I say, the cloud comes through quite well for that as well. So yeah, I do really love the way the black and white comes out on that. So even on a bright sunny day like that, you can see how strong the sun's coming down in this picture. Turn it to black and white, it kind of turns out really well. Again, slightly dramatic sky. I'm yet to see a sky that's got mainly wispy clouds or something like that. That's kind of what I'm aiming for. But again, let's say we'll be back plenty of time, so there's plenty of time to try and get something like that. So moving on, we've got a cityscape type image going on here, kind of panoramic type image. Now this one is from Berlin, when we were there last year again. This was actually taken from up top what's called the Victory Column in Berlin, down the opposite end of, you can probably see the Brandenburg Gate there. You've got a huge long kind of, not motorway type thing, there's just a free lane road in either direction down towards the Victory Column, which is here. And then it goes beyond that as well, splits into numerous places. The Victory Column's actually in the middle of like a giant roundabout. Very famous monument in Berlin. If you look it up on the internet, you'll recognise it straight away. So as I say, you can actually go over to the column itself, go right up to the top. You'll see a nice cityscape of Berlin itself. So we've got huge parks covered in trees, as you can see in the foreground here. A couple of buildings dotted in amongst all the trees, but you can't see them. So as I say, you've got the Brandenburg Gate, which is there. You've got the Berliner Dome, or the Berlin Cathedral, which is over here. You've obviously got the Berlin TV tower here as well, which you can also go up, but I feel that you don't see much. I've never been up, but I just felt that you don't see much, or wouldn't see much from up there, because I would want to have that in the picture, if that makes sense, if I'm getting an image of Berlin. You've got the Berlin Parliament, which is over here as well. So many of the main attractions, or landmarks I should say, you can see from this tower. If you look the opposite way, you'll probably be able to see the Olympia Stadium as well, and views down there as well. But again, highly recommended. Although if you don't like stairs, it might not be for you. It is just a spiral staircase all the way to the top. There's no lift or anything like that at all. Bring some trainers if you are looking to go up that. So settings for that one, it was a nice day, nice and bright day. Again, red filter just to try and bring the blue sky out a wee bit more from the hazy clouds. Taken on the 1655 2.8 lens, 5.6 again, as I say, I like to keep that up a wee bit just to get the detail, and 1,000th of a second. Again, really pleased with the way this has turned out. Turned it into a panoramic, so it's a slightly bigger image. when shot, but I've kind of taken a likeness to panoramics, especially ones like this, and you'll see them on my website as well if you're interested in any kind of panoramic prints. Just pop over and have a wee look. Now obviously, as I said before in the Edinburgh Castle picture, I like to take the same picture again or different trial pictures of the same image, depending if I've got new lenses or not. Obviously, since I've shot this one, I've got a couple of different lenses that I would love to try out, but it just means obviously I would need to try and get back to Berlin, but I'll get back there at some point in the future. Moving on. Now this one was taken in Glasgow. This was in a local pub. For anybody who knows the UK, there's a chain of pubs called Witherspoons or Spoons. So this was taken inside one of those, kind of having a bit of lunch break from just a walk around the city itself, taking a few photos. And this gentleman was reading his paper, having a chat. He also had a wee deck of cards with him as well. And I just thought he was quite an interesting character, and yeah, the light was framing him quite well, the window. I did try doing maybe a silhouette, but I felt that I wanted to get his kind of white whiskey hair in detail. And in fact, it was reading the paper through a magnifying glass. I had a wee pint of Guinness and a coffee as well. So all these wee details was telling different parts of a story, and I just loved the way that it turned out. Again, I kind of matted the black on this one, give it a kind of more newspapery feel for that. I do like that kind of matte effect that you can do on these black and whites. I feel it really brings the picture alive even more. This one, again, the trusty 33mm 1.4, set at 2.5, ISO 125, and again a 500th of a second shutter speed on that. Okay, so this was one of the first images I took when I bought the Viltrox 75mm 1.2, so a test image if you want to call it that. This was in my local town, Paisley Abbey, right in the centre. So you get some gorgeous light coming through, as you can imagine, with old abbeys and churches and things like that. All this was, it's quite a simple photo, was normally I would take it without anything in front, but I had this lens down to, what was it, 1.8, so not all the way to 1.2, 1.8, and I was just peering round a bit of stone wall, which is why you can kind of see through it. It blurs, I was quite close to it, so it blurred the wall out really well, really sharp on the columns round about here. So I'd say the quality of the Viltrox lens is superb for the price that you pay for it. It's absolutely amazing. But yeah, the contrast with the light coming through, the dark and light side of the columns, the shadows, and the light kind of fuzzy wall on the left, if you want to call it that, just all works together. Just one of a very simple image, but turned out really well. This one, as I say, it was 1.8, 125 ISO, 500th of a second. As I say, it's 75mm lens for that. Now with this and all the other lenses that I've mentioned, cameras, I'll leave links in the description below, so you can go check these out yourself if you do fancy or looking to get one yourself. Two cameras I carry about with me nowadays, the Fuji Xt5 and the Xe5. I will probably be doing a comparison between the two at some point in the near future, so have a look out for that as well. Although the internals of both cameras are almost exactly the same, I do use them very differently, and there is some things where I wish one camera would have that the others got, and vice versa. So I say look out for that coming at some point. Right, so this is over in Paris, as you may have guessed. This one pretty much took itself. I was walking along, just passing the Eiffel Tower, as you may gather, and the obviously trees and parks and all that kind of stuff all around it. So we're just walking past that. I initially just seen the old lamppost, to be honest with you, and then seen that the part of the Eiffel Tower was just framed so beautifully in amongst these trees. I was like, the picture was there. All I had to do was press the button. It all felt like cheating, you know. There was no thought to this at all. It was just there, and I took the picture. And I'm just really astounded at how good it came out, to be honest with you. I exposed more for the shadows and the Eiffel Tower itself, so I would purposely blow out the background, you know, the sky itself, because I wanted that kind of more contrasty look. I didn't want a kind of dramatic sky or anything like that at all for this one. I just wanted the contrast in the Eiffel Tower and the sky itself, and the way the foliage just frames the entire picture is just pure luck, to be honest with you. So this was shot on 16-55 2.8, again 5.6, aiming through the trees to the tower itself, so getting the tower nice and sharp. When it loads up, you'll see what I mean. There we go. So a nice and sharp tower there, and 320th of a second ISO 125. And as I say, this was the Xt5 for this one. Another one from Paris. This was outside the Louvre. You may see in the background there, whizzing by. Now, there's a road that was just going in front of the Louvre there. Mainly buses and bikes that were passing by. Now, I was there for about maybe 20 minutes, half an hour, because I wanted to practice and get some slow shutter shots of people on their bikes. Tried a few times and wasn't quite getting what I wanted from the actual subject, if that makes sense, until this guy came along. And when I took this picture, it felt like it transported me back to something like the 1920s or the 1930s, and just the way he's dressed. If you ignore the kind of modern age bike that he's on, it just had that feeling about it. I think I emphasised it because again for this one I muted or matted the black in the picture as well, to give it that kind of archival look or newspaper look, which I think adds to the illusion of being transported back in time. I always look at this and think this is a picture from another time, to be honest with you. So for this one, I don't think I had a ND filter on at this point. I was a bit lazy, so I cranked up the f-stop to f11 for this, and it was down, put the shutter speed down to about a 20th of the second, so it wasn't too slow, you know, it was quite good. 33mm again. 33mm seems to be doing all the heavy lifting at the moment, and as I say, it's not the sharpest picture you're going to find for that, but I don't mind that. I like the motion that you can see around the guy's body and the bike. I think it just adds to the picture, to be honest with you, and there's enough in the background that's blurred out that you can ignore it, but you can also tell what it is, if that makes sense. So yeah, again, another nice picture for that. So again, it's still in Paris. Now this is from the Musee Dorsay in Paris, another quite famous museum in Paris. Again, if you're into museums and art galleries like I am, definitely go visit Paris for like the Louvre and the Musée Dorsay and all the rest. There's so much to do and see in there. Now in this one itself, it's got a giant clock face that faces out. Now you could probably see just in the background there, it's got the Sacré-Cœur over in the hill in the background. You can just about make it out there. And as soon as I came onto this part of the museum, I knew this was going to be a black and white image. Some images you just know exactly what's going to happen. So again, it was quite an overcast day, which helped a wee bit because that made the whites white instead of having a kind of broken up sky in the background. And I exposed kind of in the middle. I didn't want to see too much detail in the blacks, and I don't want to see too much detail in the whites. So kind of down the middle of the road for this one. Now I was trying to capture, there was this person there, as you can see, just looking up, and that was the only person that was slightly highlighted by the light, as you can see there. But just as I took it, someone walked in front. Can still make her out just, so I'm still happy with the image. But by the time the person who had walked in front moved, the person had moved as well, and that was that shot gone. That's fine, you know. You get what you get sometimes. I could have waited longer for someone else, but there was so many people passing all the time. It was going to be unlikely. So, you know, I was like, I banked what I had, and we moved on for that. So this one, it was 4,000th of a second. This was with the Viltrox 75mm 1.2 down at 1.2 for that. But again, you can see even at 1.2 the incredible sharpness of this lens. It's absolutely incredible, the level of detail you get with this lens for what you pay for it, to be honest with you. So moving on, this is again back in my hometown, just along the road actually. This is what's called the Coach Church. This was testing out, I believe, this is just when I just got the Xe5 and the 23mm lens. So this is shot on that. So just testing out, because I hadn't, I'd sold, by this point I've sold my 16-55, so I hadn't had a wide lens for a while. So I wanted to go out and test the sharpness and overall quality of the lens for this, as well as the Xe5. So one of the first images, and I was blown away, absolutely blown away with what it came back with for this. So this was again, obviously a quite cloudy day, wee red filter, I believe, put on that just to bring out the clouds. Quite a kind of gothic, kind of spooky scene almost going on here, which is added to by the kind of crows that are flying about the top of the church there as well. Now the black and white is brung out, as I say, the incredible detail of the stonework, architecture of the building itself. The 23mm lens is a great wee lens to put on your if you've got an Xe5 and your 23mm lens, you can pop it in a pocket. I've done it myself, in a pocket, go out and about, shoot away. Absolutely fantastic. No bags needed, anything like that at all. But this one, as I say, the feeling it gave you, almost like Halloween-esque. Like, I'm just going to double check. I wonder if it was taken in November, so it wasn't that far away from Halloween, to be honest with you. So yeah, again, a great outcome for testing of this new lens and camera combination. 400th of a second, 2.8. ISO 125, and as I say, from the 23mm lens for that. So this last one, so same place, this is actually just on the stairs leading up, so you'll see just below here you've got a staircase, or several staircases going up to the top here for that. Now they've got frequent weddings all the time. There's weddings all the time. It's absolute stunning building, outside and in, and you get pipers and hundreds of wedding guests and all that kind of stuff all over the place. But usually when there's a wedding, you've got the piper piping all the guests as they arrive up the stairs and things like that. So this was shot over the wall and through a kind of iron fence towards, just to give it a bit of depth in there. And this was using my 75mm lens, so just get that wee bit more reach on there. Set at 2.0, 200th of a second, ISO 125. As I say, incredible detail for that. You can see all the details of the piper there. his pipes, his sporran, kilt, all that kind of stuff, for that really nice turnout for that picture there as well. Okay folks, that's my review for 2025 black and white images done for today. Do hope you liked what you've seen. If you have got a favourite image, drop me a comment below and tell me which one you do or thought was the best one out of all those. Do you think you could have got them down any further? Do you think there's any ones that weren't or shouldn't have been in that top 14, as we say? Again, let me know. I take on board all advice, tips and all that kind of stuff. Now, as I mentioned before, I edited all these images with my own preset packs, so you'll be able to find them over on the website. Again, as I said, I'll leave a link in the description below so you can have a wee look at those for yourself. Now, if you did enjoy this video, give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment below with what you thought went well. Again, as I say, what images was your favourite. Look out for some more videos coming soon. I've got lots more coming, some reviews, lens reviews. As I say, I'll do probably a comparison of the Xe5 and the Xt5. I've got a couple of motivational videos I want to do if you're feeling a bit stuck with what to take photos of, or you know, if it's cloudy days and all that kind of stuff. Also, if you've missed the first part of my review, my 12 best colour images of 2025, which is actually 14 images, you can watch the video right here.